Aurélien Tchouameni is a really cool guy. If I met him in real life, I'd love to get drunk with him and just talk with him for hours about how Kylian Mbappe is the GOAT. But unfortunately, professional football isn't a Make-A-Wish foundation where they just let cool, chill guys play football because that's their dream. No, top teams need good players to be playing for them. And Tchouameni is an absolutely trash defensive midfielder. Absolutely trash. He's not even that highly rated, but I think he's so terrible that he is the most overrated defensive midfielder of all time. And this isn't saying that people say he's like some all-timer or some generational defensive midfielder. No, people don't say that. But people say he's a top defensive midfielder. But he is just absolutely trash. The guy has absolutely no positional awareness. He's slow as fuck. He's clumsy as hell. And he's deceptively weak for someone of his build. The guy's only 23. And he's already been solely responsible for goals conceded in many big games. So against England, in the World Cup quarterfinals, he was responsible for conceding a very silly penalty. Extremely clumsy tackling. Saka wasn't even in that dangerous of a position. But no, Tchouameni has to stick his clumsy leg in to give England a penalty. And then in the World Cup final, here's a clip from a shameless Messi hyping commentator. And even he can't help but point out how terrible Tchouameni's defending is.
Now look at Tchouameni. All of a sudden you got McAllister coming here, and Tchouameni is way too slow. He hasn't got pressure. He hasn't done this. As he plays here, he makes a run. He has to come across, which allows him to come here. Let's have a look.
So as you play through the simplicity here, the beautiful...
Varane comes. Now they have to slide.
The beautiful movement here in McAllister. He's not a forward player, but the vision as well to spot Di Maria. He's never missing.
Beautiful. And he knows him there because he's been playing high all game. All of a sudden, Cooper comes out. That's a one.
I can't believe how little blame Tchouameni has gotten for this World Cup final. I think this is arguably worse than Dembele conceding the penalty. At least with Dembele, he isn't some defensive player. So it's almost more understandable, even though him putting a hand on Angel Di Maria, that was a pretty stupid play. But in this case, Tchouameni is supposed to be a defensive midfielder. He's supposed to be a top defensive midfielder, and he's just casually jogging. And this season, he's shown us more of his amazing ability to give up stupid goals through his terrible defending in big games. Versus Barca in the first League El Clasico of the season. His silly back pass led to Gundogan scoring the opener. As if back passing isn't bad enough, look at what he does after he commits the error. He just stands there. Bro, what the fuck are you doing? Try marking someone! Like, what are you doing? I don't know what the fuck goes through this guy's head. Every time he's in space, or it's a relatively mobile situation, he just stands there, as if he's just malfunctioning or something. You're a fucking defensive midfielder. You're supposed to mark people. You're supposed to make life harder for the attackers. This guy's making it easier for the attackers. We see more of this malfunctioning from Tchouameni in his 2 games against Atletico. He's largely to blame for both of Griezmann's goals. So in this case, when Griezmann is trying to dribble past Modric, Modric trips. And yeah, Modric deserves to get some blame for that. But just look at what Tchouameni is doing. He just stares there. He just stands as he usually does. Bro, run after Griezmann. Try to apply some pressure on him. If he doesn't manage to get to Griezmann, that's not his fault. But at least run after him. Try to do something. This guy just stands there and does fucking nothing in these situations. It's like he just came from a party drunk and he's completely wasted or something. And for Griezmann's other goal against Real Madrid this season, after Griezmann dribbles past the defender on the touchline, look at what Tchouameni does. As usual, in these situations when he's in space, he just stands there. Like some lost puppy. He doesn't fucking know what to do. Bro, fucking cut off Griezmann. What the fuck are you doing? I have no idea how he isn't public enemy number 1 in France or in Real Madrid right now. How the fuck do they stand him? This guy's a fucking atrocity. He's 23, and I can already find 5 examples of stupid goals he's given up in big games. He's only 23. He's barely played any big games in his entire career. Now understand, his goals conceded against Barca and Atletico weren't that big of games, right? They're not as important as CLKO or World Cup games. But the point is, he's given up games in 2 massively important World Cup KO games, including a fucking World Cup final. And this season, these 3 games are still more important than the average league games. I can't believe that I'm gonna have to watch this guy play for France. I mean, when he's playing for Real Madrid, it's whatever. It's funny. I don't support them. So when he makes a mistake, I just laugh at him. But when he's playing for France, he's gonna lower their chances of winning trophies, like he did at the World Cup. If he didn't make that mistake in the World Cup final, for all we know, France would have won. They wouldn't have conceded the 2nd goal. He's going to play in the Euros with his clumsy, slow body and sabotage Mbappe's chances of winning another major trophy. This champs, please do not start this loser. I hope Tchouameni makes some crazy mistake against Man City in the upcoming Champions League quarterfinals. I would love to see it. I would love to see him exposed again on the big stage, so that it would force managers to rethink playing him. This guy's an absolutely trash defensive midfielder, and the sooner he's relegated to the bench for both club and country, the better.